If someone is using you, they'll show these 5 signs. Stoicism. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling strangely drained? Not tired from work. Not exhausted from effort. But drained. As if someone quietly took something from you without your permission. Your energy. Your peace. Your confidence. Your time. Most people never realize when they are being used. Not because they are foolish, but because manipulators rarely announce themselves. They don't wear warning labels. They often arrive disguised as friends, partners, coworkers, relatives, or even people who claim to care about you. The Stoics understood a harsh truth about human nature. Not everyone who enters your life comes with good intentions. Some people come to contribute. Others come to consume. And if you fail to recognize the difference, you may spend years giving your best to people who never deserved it. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that he would encounter selfish, dishonest, and manipulative people. Not because he was cynical. Because he was realistic. He understood that awareness protects peace. Today, we're going to uncover 5 powerful signs that someone may be using you. Some of these signs are subtle. Some are painful. But by the end of this video, you'll never look at certain relationships the same way again. And if you're committed to becoming mentally stronger, emotionally wiser, and impossible to manipulate, subscribe to Focus and Conquer. Because in a world full of distractions and deception, wisdom is your greatest defense. Let's begin. The first sign is one of the most common, and one of the easiest to miss. They only appear when they need something. Think carefully about the people in your life. Who checks on you when things are going well? Who calls when they need nothing? Who reaches out simply because they value your presence? Now think about the opposite. The person who disappears for weeks. Sometimes months. Then suddenly appears with perfect timing. Not because they miss you. Not because they care. But because they need a favor. A ride. Money. Advice. Connections. Support. Attention. Whatever benefits them in that moment. Once they receive it, they vanish again. Like a customer leaving a store after getting what they wanted. A young man once had a friend who constantly contacted him. At least that's what he believed. Every message seemed friendly. Every call felt familiar. But one day he noticed something. Every conversation eventually led to a request. Every single one. Can you help me? Can you lend me this? Can you do that? Can you fix this problem? At first, he didn't mind. Helping people felt good. But over time, he realized something painful. When he needed support, nobody answered. When he faced difficulties, that same friend disappeared. The relationship had never been mutual. It was transactional. The Stoics believed healthy relationships operate through reciprocity. Not accounting. Not scorekeeping. But mutual respect. Mutual care. Mutual effort. When someone only appears when they need something, they are revealing their priorities. And their priority isn't you. It's what they can get from you. Many people ignore this sign because they fear loneliness. They would rather be used than be alone. But Stoicism teaches something different. It is better to walk alone than to walk with those who quietly drain your life. Pay attention to patterns. Because patterns reveal character. And character always tells the truth eventually. The second sign is even more dangerous. They make everything about themselves. Have you ever shared exciting news only to watch someone instantly redirect the conversation back to themselves? You tell them about an achievement. They tell a bigger story. You share a struggle. They somehow become the victim. You discuss your dreams. They return the spotlight to their own desires. Every road leads back to them. At first, this behavior seems harmless. But over time it becomes exhausting. Because genuine relationships require interest in both directions. A philosopher once compared conversation to a bridge. Both sides must contribute. If only one person is crossing, eventually the bridge collapses. A woman spent years supporting a friend through countless challenges. She listened patiently, offered encouragement, provided emotional support. Whenever her friend needed someone, she was there. But when her own life became difficult, something strange happened. Her friend showed almost no interest. The conversation quickly shifted away. Her pain became invisible. That was the moment she realized she wasn't valued. She was useful. There is a profound difference. People who care about you seek to understand you. People who use you seek to use your attention. The Stoics encouraged self-awareness. Not just awareness of yourself. Awareness of others. Observe how people respond when you speak. Do they listen? Do they remember important details? Do they ask thoughtful questions? Or are they simply waiting for their turn to talk? Because attention is one of the greatest forms of respect. And those who never give it often reveal more than they realize. But the next sign may be the most revealing of all. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Because it exposes whether someone's kindness is genuine or merely conditional. The third sign is subtle. Dangerously subtle. Because it often disguises itself as friendship. They support you only when it benefits them. Most people assume loyalty reveals itself during difficult times. Sometimes it does. But loyalty is also revealed during your success. A surprising number of people are comfortable when you're struggling. Comfortable when you're confused. Comfortable when you're dependent. Because your weakness makes them feel stronger. But the moment you begin growing, changing, succeeding, or becoming more confident, something shifts. Their enthusiasm fades. Their encouragement disappears. Their energy changes. A young merchant once spent years building a business. During the early stages, his friends constantly surrounded him. They shared ideas, offered advice, spent time together. Everything seemed genuine. Then his business began succeeding. Unexpectedly, some of those same friends became distant. Others became critical. A few even began mocking his ambitions. At first he felt confused. Had he changed? Eventually he realized something painful. Some people supported him only when they felt superior to him. His growth threatened their comfort. The Stoics understood that true friends celebrate your victories without feeling diminished by them. They do not compete with your success. They contribute to it. When someone only supports you when they benefit, their loyalty has conditions attached. And conditional loyalty is not loyalty. It is a transaction. Ask yourself, who genuinely celebrates your progress? Who becomes uncomfortable when you improve? Who encourages your growth even when it doesn't serve them? The answers often reveal more than years of conversation. Because actions expose motives. And motives determine the quality of every relationship. This leads us to the fourth sign. A sign that destroys self-respect if ignored. They make you feel guilty for having boundaries. One of the greatest lessons in Stoicism is understanding that your time, energy, and attention are valuable resources. Yet manipulators hate boundaries. Why? Because boundaries limit access. And people who benefit from unlimited access rarely appreciate healthy limits. A man once decided he would no longer answer work calls late at night. He wanted more time with his family. More peace. More balance. At first, he felt proud of his decision. Then something unexpected happened. Certain people became angry. Not because he was wrong. Because they could no longer use him the way they once did. They accused him of being selfish. Unhelpful. Difficult. But the truth was much simpler. He had finally established a boundary. And boundaries reveal who respects you and who merely benefits from your lack of limits. Many people feel guilty when they say no. They fear disappointing others. They fear conflict. They fear being disliked. But Marcus Aurelius understood something important. You cannot control other people's reactions. You can only control whether your actions align with your values. Imagine a castle with no walls. Anyone can enter. Anyone can take what they want. Anyone can create chaos. Eventually the castle falls. Boundaries are the walls protecting your peace. Without them, your life becomes available to everyone except yourself. The people who genuinely care about you may not always like your boundaries, but they will respect them. Manipulators do the opposite. They punish boundaries because boundaries reduce their control. And the moment someone becomes angry simply because you protected your time, your energy, or your peace, you learn exactly how they viewed you. Not as a person, but as a resource. Now we arrive at the fifth and final sign. The most dangerous sign of all. Because it often remains hidden until significant damage has already been done. They disappear when you need them most. Life eventually tests every relationship. Not with convenience. With adversity. Success introduces people. Difficulty reveals them. A successful businessman once had a large circle of friends. His phone constantly rang. His calendar remained full. People wanted his attention. His advice. His resources. His company. Then disaster struck. His business collapsed. Financial hardship followed. Suddenly, many of those friendships vanished. Calls stopped. Messages slowed. Invitations disappeared. The crowd that once surrounded him became silent. But a few people remained. A very small few. Those people checked on him. Encouraged him. Helped him rebuild. Years later, when he recovered, he said something powerful. I lost money and gained clarity. The Stoics taught that adversity reveals truth. Not creates it. Truth was always there. Difficulty simply removes the masks. When someone values only what they can gain from you, they disappear when the benefits disappear. But genuine people remain. Not because it's convenient. Because loyalty is part of their character. This is why Stoicism places such importance on character. Money changes. Status changes. Circumstances change. Character remains. And character determines who stays when life becomes difficult. Take a moment and reflect. Who would answer your call at your lowest point? Who would stand beside you when there is nothing to gain? Who values you beyond your usefulness? Those are the people worth protecting. Those are the people worth appreciating. Because they are rare. And in today's world, rarity is valuable. The Stoics believe that a wise person evaluates relationships carefully. Not with paranoia. Not with bitterness. With clarity. You do not need to hate people who use you. You do not need revenge. You do not need endless arguments. You simply need awareness. Awareness gives you freedom. Freedom to choose better relationships. Freedom to protect your peace. Freedom to stop investing in people who only invest in themselves. And that freedom changes everything. In the final part, we'll explore how Stoicism teaches you to respond when you realize someone is using you, how to protect your energy without becoming cold, and the powerful lesson that transforms manipulation into personal growth. Before we continue, subscribe to Focus and Conquer if you're committed to building a stronger mind, stronger boundaries, and a life that cannot be controlled by the wrong people. Because wisdom doesn't just help you understand people. It helps you choose them wisely. The moment you realize someone has been using you, a powerful temptation appears. Anger. Resentment. The desire to expose them. To confront them. To make them feel the pain they caused you. Most people react emotionally. The Stoics reacted strategically. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself that when people act wrongly, they reveal their character, not yours. That lesson is life-changing. Because the moment someone uses you, the real test begins. Not their character. Yours. Will you allow their behavior to turn you bitter? Or will you use the experience to become wiser? A young man discovered that a close friend had manipulated him for years. The realization hurt deeply. He felt embarrassed. Foolish. Angry. For weeks he replayed every conversation in his mind. Every favor. Every sacrifice. Every moment he had been taken advantage of. Then an older mentor gave him advice he never forgot. Stop asking why they used you. The young man looked confused. What should I ask instead? The mentor smiled. Ask what the experience is trying to teach you. Everything changed. His focus shifted away from blame. Toward growth. Instead of becoming bitter, he became observant. Instead of becoming angry, he became wiser. Instead of building walls, he built standards. That is the Stoic way. Every painful experience contains a lesson. And every lesson contains power. The goal is not to become suspicious of everyone. The goal is to become skilled at recognizing character. Because trust is valuable. But blind trust is expensive. The Stoics never taught people to avoid relationships. They taught people to choose relationships wisely. A gardener does not hate weeds. He simply refuses to let them take over the garden. Likewise, a wise person does not hate manipulative people. They simply stop giving them access. One of the biggest mistakes people make after being used is believing they must explain everything. They think they owe long speeches, lengthy arguments, detailed justifications. But often the strongest response is quiet action. Imagine a door. Every time someone disrespects you, manipulates you, or drains your energy, they knock on that door. Most people keep opening it. Again and again. Even after being hurt repeatedly. A Stoic eventually learns something powerful. You are not obligated to keep opening the door. You can step back. Reduce contact. Protect your peace. Without hatred. Without drama. Without revenge. Because peace is more valuable than proving a point. Many manipulators survive on reactions. Arguments feed them. Drama energizes them. Conflict gives them attention. But calm indifference removes their power. Seneca understood this centuries ago. He believed that the greatest form of strength is self-mastery. Not controlling others. Controlling yourself. The person who remains calm while others attempt manipulation possesses a kind of power that cannot be bought. A power built through discipline. Through awareness. Through emotional control. Think about a mountain during a storm. The wind attacks it. Rain strikes it. Thunder surrounds it. Yet the mountain remains. That is what Stoicism teaches. Not the absence of difficulty. Unshakable stability within difficulty. The strongest people are not those who never encounter manipulators. They are those who learn from them. A businessman once said that every person who betrayed him taught him something valuable. One taught him to observe actions instead of words. Another taught him the importance of boundaries. Another taught him patience. Another taught him discernment. By the end of his life, he carried no bitterness. Only wisdom. That is an incredible transformation. Because bitterness keeps you tied to the past. Wisdom prepares you for the future. And the future is where your power lives. Not in yesterday's mistakes. Not in yesterday's disappointments. Not in the people who failed to appreciate you. Your power lives in the choices you make today. The people you allow into your life. The standards you establish. The boundaries you maintain. The respect you demand from yourself. Never forget this. People who use others often look strong. But they are usually dependent. Dependent on other people's energy. Other people's generosity. Other people's attention. Other people's resources. The truly strong person does not need to manipulate. They create value. They contribute. They build. They give more than they take. And that is exactly the kind of person Stoicism encourages you to become. Not someone who exploits. Someone who elevates. Not someone who drains. Someone who strengthens. Not someone who takes advantage. Someone who lives with honor. So as you move forward, remember these lessons. Pay attention to those who only appear when they need something. Notice those who make everything about themselves. Watch who supports you only when it benefits them. Protect yourself from those who attack your boundaries. And never forget the people who disappear when life becomes difficult. These signs reveal more than words ever could. Because character is not revealed through promises. It is revealed through patterns. And patterns never lie. The Stoics understood that your peace is priceless. Your energy is precious. Your time is limited. Do not give them away carelessly. Choose your circle wisely. Choose your standards carefully. Choose your future intentionally. Because one of the greatest acts of self-respect is refusing to remain available to people who only value your usefulness. If this message spoke to you, Subscribe to Focus and Conquer for more Stoic wisdom, mental toughness lessons, and life-changing strategies for mastering yourself and protecting your peace. And remember this powerful truth. The moment you stop being available to those who use you, you become available to the life you truly deserve. Stay focused. Stay disciplined. And keep conquering.